Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alwi from English Education Class A 2019. Today, I'm gonna present my mini research proposal as my final assignment for Introduction to Research. The title of my mini research proposal is Using MMORPG-based games to increase student speaking skills in EFL learning in SMA Negeri 3 Takalar. Or in Indonesia, it is menggunakan game berbasis MMORPG untuk meningkatkan skill berbicara siswa dalam pembelajaran EFL di SMA Negeri 3 Takalar. So let's just get started. First one, what is MMORPG and how can it help in learning English? First of all, we all know how important learning English is, especially because it is considered as international language or global language. So learning English as foreign language is very important, and it can help you in many ways. Maybe when you visit another country, or another thing, like international meeting, also use English as their language. This really shows how important learning English is. But despite how important learning English is, some of the students, they feel like they don't really need to learn English, or also they didn't like learning English. So how to increase their interest in learning English? One of the way to increase their interest is by also increase their mood or their emotion to learn English. And how do we do that? By using MMORPG to like a stimulus for them. As we all know, a mood or a feeling is a specific state of mind of a person at a times, and it is influenced by emotion. So we know that mood or emotion has a very significant impact on human cognitive process. Mood can affect our learning, our memory, our what is reasoning, and the most important is problem solving. So it's very important to increase the student mood in order to have effective in teaching English. So using online games in learning English has been talked about years. You know that because of the globalization and the development of technology such as internet and computer, online games has really grown. One of the online games is MMORPG, or it stands for Massive Multiplayer Online Role-Playing Games. Multiplayer online games is the game which players can play and compete at once. In MMORPGs, players required to complete variety of tasks, developing character individually, and also participating in important role in guild or squad or clan. So this play an important role of player-to-player communication. So it can help you in your communication skills, because the player must cooperate and exchange information through language and across different cultures. So MMORPGs can provide communication for students to practice their ability and their language skills. Even when face-to-face communication for English as foreign language learners is difficult to provide, but having access to internet via online games creates alternative social interaction, which can potentially support learning English as foreign language. So there are three previous related findings. The first one is by Kongni, Strachan, Montgomery, and Picard in 2019. They found that massive multiplayer online role-playing games, or MMORPGs, offers digital places for foreign learners to practice and communicate with with other across the internet. The learners also become more active in using English and more patient in reading. It also helps them to gain new vocabulary, and also it increases their motivation as they can control their learning process. It is believed that using games and technology properly can facilitate the learning process. The second one is from Asman and Dolcet in 2018. They suggest that MMORPGs provide social opportunities for everyone to communicate. It is facilitated socialization and communicative use in English as foreign language learning through the interaction with native or non-native speakers of the target language. Uh, Online games also more comfortable place to learn without anxiety because communication using online games allows to reflect on language production and errors. The third one is Seh and Kim in 2010. And they investigated that MMORPGs may be useful to improve English abilities of the learner who study English as their second language. The learner who study English as foreign language with MMORPGs show higher score in listening, writing, and reading than those who study English face-to-face in classroom. What is more interesting is network connection found as important than motivation for learning to contribute in English learners' achievement. So we move to the research question. The first research question is why mood in learning AFL is important, and the second one is how massive multiplayer online role-playing games or MMORPGs can help in learning English as foreign language. So our objective of the research is to give knowledge about how moods and motivation can affect learning and to provide effective learning methods using massive multiplayer online role-playing games or MMORPGs. So the next one is significance of the research. Significance of the research. The first one is theoretically. It is expected to give knowledge and information to English as foreign language learners and English as foreign language teacher. And practically, it is expected to increase awareness about the importance of emotion in learning and use MMORPGs as one of the ways to facilitate learning. So Brian in 2007 said that MMORPGs are ideal ways to develop language communication skills because players have to communicate with other players to finish the task and have lifelike communication. So there are two pertinent ideas of this research. Is the first one is speaking skills. So speaking skills is one of the four main skills in language, which consists of speaking, listening, reading, and writing. In 1978, Widdowson grouped these skills into receptive and productive, and speaking belongs to productive skills. Speaking consider receptive skill because it is involved language production. For most people, being able to speak the language is same as they know and master the language because it is the basic for communication. But unfortunately, most of the schools didn't make this as a priority. The teacher often failed to provide students with activity that allows them to communicate to each other or even to the teacher itself. Therefore, we all know the key of successful speaking course is a successful speaking activity, even though it is not that easy to design as a teacher. The learners should talk a lot using the target language to achieve this, because if it's not, it's really hard to achieve this. Second one is MMORPGs, massive multiplayer online playing game, online role-playing games. The genre of massive multiplayer online role-playing games, or MMORPGs, is a video game that have both role-playing and massive multiplayer online games. As in role-playing games, the player assumes their role of avatar that they created by themselves and takes control over that avatar, of course. So the persistent world of MMORPGs continue to evolve even when the player is offline. Um, the most common theme for this kind of game MMORPGs is like fantasy, because people seems more like it. They like to fantasize. Sometimes the theme is hybrid between fantasy and science, or crime, science and crime, and many other things. Those elements then evolving using task and scenario consists of quest and looting. So we need to develop the character by done the task and the quest. So developing the character is basically the goal of the most of the MMORPGs games. So it can be achieved by as I said before, like finishing quests, looting, or combat with monster, and also many other things such as like teamwork in club or clan or squad. So MMORPGs support in-game guilds or clan. Furthermore, most MMORPG require teamwork in terms of finishing the task. MMORPGs can also form relationship just like in real life and building trust between the player. MMORPG also provide opportunity for the learners to analyze, synthesize, evaluation the information, and use the most important thing, use their critical thinking skills to make a strategy and solve the problem in the game, which is important things in learning environment. So the next one is the framework. So it consists of pre-test to high school student, SMA tiga Takala student, and then they will be divided into two, experimental class and control class. Using one of the class is using MMORPGs, and one of the classes doesn't use it. And then after that, we will have post tests and interview to see how much the student speaking skills is improved. So the research design will be use experimental method with experimental design with one group pre-test, post-test design type. And data research. The research will take place at SMA Negeri 3 Takalar, which is located on Jalan Abdul Jalal Den Leo, Patalasan, Takalar, Sulawesi Selatan. Instrument of the research, it is consists of a pre-test and post-test and a class of subject who receive treatment using MMORPGs and will be compared with the class that doesn't receive the treatment. And the technique data collection of the research are test and non-test. The non-test types such as short interview were conducted with the students before and after the test to show how the student knowledge in MMORPGs and their language skills, especially in speaking, and also their motivation in learning English. The test will be noticed through informal discussion sessions and finishing tasks that conducted using English, and the learners using their avatar identities to help enhance their confidence and allow them to learn from their mistakes without the same by judged by other people. So techniques data analysis use inferential statistical analysis, in which the researcher will make conclusion later based on the results of the research from a number of samples to a wider population. I think that's all from me. I'm really sorry if there are so many mistakes or there are mas banyak kekurangannya. I think that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. Have a nice weekdays. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.